नामाई की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, तुलसी महारानी की जय, समावित भक्त वृंद की जय, हिताय गौर प्रेमानंदे. All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, glories to Shri Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3rd, chapter number 29, and text number 10. All right. This is the description of devotion and mode of goodness. How come the devotion, which is a transcendental activity, is affected by the three modes? So it is transcendental, so modes should not affect it. But we levy our modes on our activity and we term it is devotional service. So naturally classification is there. Karma niraharam uddishya parasmin va tad aparnam jayad yastavyam iti va prathak bhavaha sa satvikah. Karma nirharam uddishya parasmin va tat aparnam jayed yastavyam iti va prathak bhavah satvikah. Karma nirharam uddishya parasmai va tat aparnam jayet vyastavyam iti va prathak bhavah sa satvikah. Karma niraharam uddishya parasmai va tadarpanam jayed yastavyam iti va prathak bhavah sa satvikah. karma, fruitive activities, nirharam, freeing himself from, uddishya, for the purpose of, parasmin, to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, va, or tatarpanam, offering the results of activities, yajit, may worship, yastavyam, to be worshipped, iti, thus, va, or prathak bhavaha, separatist, saha, he, satvikaha, in the mode of goodness. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. When a devotee worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead and offers the results of his activities in order to free himself from the inebrities of fruitive activities, his devotion is in the mode of goodness. The Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas and Sudras, along with the Brahmacharis, Grahastha, Vanaprasthas and Sannyasis, are the members of 8 divisions of Varna and Ashram, and they have their respective duties to perform for the satisfaction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When such activities are performed and the results are offered to the Supreme Lord, they are called karmarpanam. Duties performed for the satisfaction of the Lord. If there is inebriety or fault, it is atoned by this offering process. But the offering process is in the mode of goodness rather than in pure devotion. Then the interest is different. The 4 ashramas and 4 varnas act for some benefit in accordance to their personal interest. Therefore, such activities are in the mode of goodness. They cannot be counted in the category of pure devotion. Pure devotional service is described by Rupa Goswami and is free from all material desires. Anya bilashita shunya. There can be no excuse for personal or material interest and the empiric philosophical speculation. Pure devotional service is transcendental to all material qualities. Devotional service in the mode of goodness, passion and ignorance, passion and goodness can be divided into 81 categories. There are different devotional activities such as hearing, chanting, remembering, worshipping, offering prayers, rendering service and surrendering everything. And each of them can be divided into 3 qualitative categories. There is hearing in the mode of passion, and in mode of ignorance, and in the mode of goodness. So similarly, there are chanting in the mode of ignorance, passion and goodness, etc. 3 multiplied by 9 equal to 27, and when again multiplied by the 3, it is becoming 81. And one has to transcend all such mixed materialistic devotional service in order to reach the standard of pure devotional service as explained in the next verses. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshul Militanyena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगे राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि श्रीहरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमः ओं विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। It is the mercy of Srila Prabhupada that we are given the transcendental process of devotional service, which are guided by Rupa Goswami, and we never come across in our life that we are doing devotional service in mode of goodness, passion or ignorance. But nonetheless, when these modes are there and performance of devotional service is there, we should expect that we are introducing modes in our devotional service, which is a transcendental process. That is pure devotional service which is beyond the three modes of material nature, and that will be explained in next verses. Prabhupada mentions that somehow or other we try to apply our modes imposed on the transcendental process. First of all, there was no regulated teachings about pure devotional service. Narad Bhakti Sutra and other treatise on devotional service was available, but it was not prominent. And in Kali Yuga, how can they ever succeed? So, when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu advented, he saw that people in Kali Yuga are but short-lived, and all these things as described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Prayana alpayusha sabhya kalavasmin yuge jana mandahasu mandamatayo mandabhakyahi upadrata. They impart these inebrities or deficiencies due to the age influence in all the religious processes. Yesterday I came across one such interference from Thailand. We opened up an Asiatic center. Now, Asiatic center, Asiatic is a big mall type of amusement park right in front of us. And we are renting a place in Thailand, Bangkok. And people come. So many people come, but hardly few are visiting us. They are Indian by nature. But they did not have any idea of what is pure or transcendental devotional service. They did not know. Most of us know that devotional service is doing arti, taking some favor from Lord, and make our life so-called successful. But they undergo inadvertently so many tribulations, but they adhere to the belief system only. They never test whether they are doing it right or wrong. So it comes by tradition. So most of the Hindus, they pose a problem. So we made a group of the so-called devotees of Asiatic, and one person, because yesterday was Shanivar, Saturday, it is meant for Shanidev. And he interjects some kind of clippings glorifying the Lord. So in this way, there are some traditional so-called Hindus trying to think that, Asiatic Center is very appropriate to teach them bhakti. You can teach them bhakti, which is pertaining to the demigods who have taken up 7 days. All right? They do not know the glory of Ekadashi, nor Purushottam Mas or Malamas. Yesterday I explained in the program. But because today's verse is very appropriate, and Prabhupada mentions that Rupa Goswami says, Anyabhilashita shunyam jnana karmadhanavratam anukullena krishnanushilanam bhaktiruttama. So, Uttam Bhakti is there, but Mishra Bhakti is also there. And generally, Mishra Bhaktas are those who are ignorant of pure devotional service, which is targeted to obtain love of God, which is the highest. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, 530 years back, he brought this system. People are so much attached to so-called tradition that area where most of the people are migrating, and they established since last 4 or 5 generations in Bangkok, Thailand, and they are from Gorakhpur area, where Mayavadis are highly influencing them. Gita Press Gorakhpur is very well known. They are publishers of devotional literature. Even the Congress commented on that. They cannot tolerate what is this, They want to be atheistic. Now, some of them, they are so much mixed up, they interjected about Lord Shanidev, the demigod who is to be worshipped. Because Shanidev is interfering in our life. Hardly anybody is an exception whose life is free from effect of Shanidev, which is mode of ignorance. They call in Hindi, Shani ki sadi sati. And they are so becoming fearful if they do not go and take refuge of Hanuman and put oil on him, and the orange color that Hanuman gets, that is arsenic poison. But they take a little bit with this finger, anamika, and put on their right ear. We used to do that in childhood. So, people are not knowing and they are interjecting in our preaching. So, I ended up writing. Underneath that clipping of Shanidev, let me... Shanidev, they make him comfortable. They think they are in mode of goodness, but they do not know what mode is acting, And underneath this, there was a clipping. तीन पत्ती खेलकर 1 करोड़ के इनाम कमाइए. You know तीन पत्ती? What do they call in English? So, सिर्फ शेयर चैट यूजर के लिए ही पेश है भारत के सबसे बड़ा इनाम देने वाला प्लेटफॉर्म, सबसे तेज निकासी दर के साथ. अभी डाउनलोड करें. This ad was paying for that clipping, but it conveyed the wrong message in our center, so I had to write, Dear Dinesh Prabhu, kindly stop forwarding this kind of materially motivated activities of playing tin patti involving the demigods who are ruling for maintaining material universe as a thankless service to the Lord Shri Krishna. ISKCON Asiatic Center provides spiritual platform for devotees for encouraging everyone to engage in pleasing the Supreme Lord alone. You are very religious and maybe very pious person, and we desire you to become liberated from all activities of Maya Devi. Therefore, we request you to refrain all postings misdirected to the aim and objective of our Sanatan Dharma. All right? This message is applied to even several people who were also responding to such addresses. Our objective is to cultivate teachings of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam as taught by Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who advented himself to spread his own holy name throughout the whole world, which is confirmed as the only remedy in Upanishads and Puranas for this Kali Yuga. Please do not be discouraged by my instructions, nor become offended by my addressing this issue. I humbly apologize for this clarification in case as well wisher and your benefactor. I am available on WhatsApp. This number, this. Yeah. So, it's a direct message, penetrating. I was waiting that somebody does some kind of mischievous, messaging, and then we have to stop. I told one of my disciples, tell them to stop it. But he didn't do, because he was afraid. Oh, I am preaching to them, they are my good friends. But it is a disservice. It's not a service, and we do not need, we should not be interfered, because we are not taught Sakam Bhakti. The results of the addition of the 3 modes of material nature into the process, actually it is applying to only Lord Shri Krishna. Lord Krishna separates out himself as distinct Supreme Personality of Godhead. You can't lump him together with the demigods. Yanti deva pratan devan pitrun yanti pitruvrata bhutani bhute jayanti madhyajino apimam. The same place Gita Press Gorakhpur doesn't understand. Influence of Kali Yuga means influence of mode of ignorance is so prominent that we have to shake them up. Immediately my post went. I was writing the other half. Our good friend blew him out. But it doesn't help just to blow him out. Means he cancelled his so-called participation. But we need to preach. So any and every occasion for our so-called Hindu, they are at disadvantage, and we have to give them advantage of understanding. And they are coming slowly. They know our presence is there in Thailand. Otherwise, in 1975, Srila Prabhupada, when he was opening up the Radha Parisheshwar in Paris, there was a Thai lady who came for getting initiation. And she also brought her boss. Because she might have preached him, so he was very eager to meet Srila Prabhupada. He was very much impressed with Srila Prabhupada. One of my godbrother, Yogeshwar Das, he is also helping Srila Prabhupada to translate French into English. And he's talking English into French, right? He's in New York. He was the author of Bala books. Prabhupada told Yogeshwar, you can go, because he's inviting us to open up a center. Now, Yogeshwar went in Thai suit, and the person came to receive him and could not recognize him. And then Yogeshwar finally approached him. He said, I didn't see you like this. How come you guys are changing your dress? The monks are not supposed to change their dress. Our monks are highly respected because the whole life, after getting monkhood, they will not change the dress. Now, this is also an orthodox impression, but he was also right. He was very discouraged simply by seeing somebody to come and start. They are respectful for Hindu Dharma, the old methodology, We are gaining grounds because since then, several devotees tried to open up a center and not. But our Indian diaspora somehow invited us, and I am there. So we can't, compromise with our methodology, which is the highest of it, and Prabhupada reiterated that in this purport. The three modes can be used in permutation and combination of creating 81 different kinds of devotional service, which will give different results. We don't want to be counted amongst them. So Srila Prabhupada brought this without any deviation, the pure message. But Kapil Dev here is teaching the essentials of a thing. Because people have to come out from the effect of the three modes. We do not know whether they were chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra at that time or not. It is not a popular chant. 16 words. It is too. We had one godbrother in early times in New York, who was he was working in IBM, and IT, and super intelligent. He thinks only super intelligent can handle computers for artificial intelligence. He got initiated. Probably he was one of the first Indian and Gujarati to get initiated. All right? He had one meeting with Srila Prabhupada, and he asked the question, can we also get initiated? Prabhupada said, why not? Chant 16 rounds without fail, follow 4 regulative principles. So he and his wife both got initiated. And he was preaching every weekend from his own house to other IIT graduates. But he has high aspiration, these are all intelligent class of people, it is difficult for anybody to understand the message of Bhagavad Gita. All right? Gradually, he got deviated. He tried to interject his own ideology. The very first objection he gave and changed chanting. He says 16 syllables. My tongue gets twisted. He's my own god brother. I did the funeral for him. You know. He said, my tongue get twisted chanting 16 syllables. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So I decided to chant Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. It's a great offense. It's a slip. But soon he was taken away by heart attack. His wife Sulochana called us and, we had to do funeral rites for him. Anyway, Prabhupada's mercy cannot be undermined or compromised. You have to understand the personality of Guru Tattva. The old man, he has come to collect disciples and this and that. Probably he was the first one, but he did not have, association of the devotees. We used to go every weekend just to attend his classes, but I didn't get anything out of it. It was too far away. He was in Poughkeepsie, we were in New York City. It's about 150 miles away. To go on Sunday, it takes 3 hours going and 3 hours coming. But anyway, you can understand how the influence of the modes of material nature can interfere in our devotional service. We are not moody people. We do not go by our mood because we have accepted mood and mission of Srila Prabhupada. We go by that. Did Srila Prabhupada ever show lethargy or disappointments? You will never find. He was beyond the effect of the three modes of material nature. What we have to learn from our Guru is this. Yasya deve para bhakti yatha deve tatha guru tasyehi kathitahi arthyaha prakashante mahatmana. Our devotional service is counted on the fact that do we have unflinching faith in Guru and Krishna and their teachings? Parabhakti. Parabhakti means unflinching faith. Now, how would you do parabhakti in mode of ignorance? You will end up messing the whole process. Prabhupada said, I may be imperfect, but the process I follow is perfect. Therefore, we have every reason to go back home, back to Godhead, which is the perfect destination. Now, it's not a fanciful idea to allure somebody. Lord Krishna asserts this process of devotional service, which is the most confidential activity. In the 9th chapter, he says, idam tute guhyatamam pravakshyami anasuyave jnana vijnana sahitam yad gyatva mokshashe ashubhat. This mode of goodness, passion and ignorance, three causes ashubh. Even mode of goodness is binding, it is not liberating. And we are given a process that not only liberates us, but to send us, go back home, back to Godhead, without any doubt. We have to shake up our lethargy in understanding. It's so simple. Then we do not go there and perform the arti. Om Jai Jagadish Hare. Tera tujhko vapas kya lage mera. I mean, all this babbling of impersonalist Shivananda cannot make you understand devotional service. It's very, very fair. And they offer the same arti one after another. And they try to give us too, if we go and attend. You perform the arti, chant Nashinga prayer and remove all that inauspiciousness and mixed mode of devotional service. Yeah, there are so many impediments. This is Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga tried to interfere in every aspect, even in devotional service. We might be traditionally inclined, but hell with the tradition. Prabhupada brought age-old tradition. Even that was not the process in Dwapara Yuga. Pure devotion service is very rare. After Krishna Swadhamopagate, Krishna left for his own abode, but he took Dharma Jnanadibisa, the codes of religion and the knowledge pertaining to pure devotional service also went with him. Right? Kalo nashta drashamesha. In Kali Yuga, we lost this vision of performing pure devotional service. Purano arko adunodita. This Srimad Bhagavatam is brilliant like sun, because it is devoid of three modes of material nature. Does not encourage. As far as knowledge is concerned, Devahati, mother of Kapil Dev, she wanted to understand how does the devotional service has to be performed. We also know that unless and until we have done some meritorious activity towards devotional service in our previous life, will help us to advance further. So nobody is coming in unfamiliar state. All of us who are students of pure devotional service, we have to stick to the process. But our mind troubles us. Yeah, effects of modes of material nature are there, but never try to let them interfere you. You have to push back such idea. Pure devotional service is not dependent upon the modes of material nature. They are unwanted interferences. in establishing the relationship with Lord Shri Krishna. All right? So, understand how Srila Prabhupada was empowered to institute singularly, having faith on Lord Krishna and Guru equally. Guru told him, if you have money, you print books. There are no infrastructure instructions of how to build ISKCON. But it happens on its own accord. And Prabhupada is glorified, but he is still humble not to accept that glorification. He accepted his disciples and thanked them that my Guru Maharaj sent all of you to help me so I can serve my Guru Maharaj's mission. I am determined, but I have no qualification otherwise that. I have no ability, I am an old man, I can die any time. So much so, his humility is at par excellence. His god brothers have different opinions, But when Prabhupada invited them, let's preach together. But no. So he was compelled to establish ISKCON as a very, very distinct organization. They said, oh, Guru Maharaj, why don't you name it as International Society for God Consciousness? And Prabhupada said, no, they will bring all the gods. This is, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Except him, nobody told that he is God. There is no personal identification of God in Christianity. And Muslims are fearing not to show even Prophet Muhammad's face. You can see faceless or one without head instructing. So, if our Prophet doesn't have head, why should we keep somebody else's head, those who are opposing us? They are that fanatic. Sartan se juda. Who has the concept of personality, and that too a human-like personality. And Prabhupada said, we are made in image of God. Even the Christians believe. An image is opposite. But you can get the idea what should be the original form of Lord Krishna. It is not four-handed, it is two-handed. By reason and quotations of the source, which is authorized source, Prabhupada would convince us. There was no bluff. Those who do not know bhakti, they are bluffers. So, it's a great lesson that somehow or another, by the mercy of the Lord, we are here together. We should feel so much enriched and should become determined not to allow our lethargy in performing devotional service. This is a very great opportunity to serve Radha Gopinath. They have advented with love and attraction. They have their glories, which is how many years old? They arrived in 70s. Devotees struggled to establish them from very humble state into this opulent place. I heard you are going to construct a bigger 4-story temple here or more. Previously we used to stay in the sannyasi room, but now no vacancy, Prabhu. That's a very cooperative mood. Thank you. But even Radha Govind temple is coming up. Good. Spread out. What do you think? That is also happening everywhere. In Melbourne also. Western suburbs need a big temple because they have congregation over 1,500. Even a big garage hall they have occupied, it is small enough. Krishna is having an ever expandable, demeanor. While on the other hand, those who have little knowledge, they become puffed up like Dr. Frog. How much expanding he can do? Not knowing means you are in mode of ignorance. Even you don't have purpose of why you are doing, they call devotional service to demigods. We never heard. Neither it is written by Narad Muni, but they construe. Everybody is a god. You are God, I am God. And they water down the entire philosophy. They do not know what transcendence is. They do not rise above the 3 modes of material nature. Rather, the entire teaching right before them, and they have distributed Bhagavad Gita in millions because they are established more than 50 years back before Prabhupada started preaching. Prabhupada used their Bhagavad Gita Padached analytical for every word, and synonyms were there, and how to make a proper translation, the system was there. Prabhupada used it. But the purpose was deviated. They started printing everything. It is called Gita Press, but they are also publishing some unwanted, publications. They call it Dharma, because Dharma is a mixed hodgepodge. So they also started hodgepodge literatures, like Janakalyan and others. They steal ISKCON's paintings and put in there. This has been going on since decades. It's not to criticize, but the quality is assumed to be in mode of goodness. What to speak of the influence of Mayavadi stalwarts who were paid by British to translate Bhagavad Gita in English and other languages during the time of, freedom movement. All those leaders, starting from Gandhi, Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Vinoba Bhave, and all those great well-known personalities. Everybody wrote an impersonal Mayavadi Bhashya. And Vishnu Puran, Lord Vishnu is instructing Lord Shiva. Shiva, you do this job. You are very clever. Devise such a means to introduce a false doctrine, but introduce the authority of Vedas back. Kick this Buddhism out. And Lord Shiva himself in Padma Puran tells to Parvati, repeat it, the same thing. And if he comes as Adi Shankara, fine. We live about 25 kilometers in Kerala of Adi Shankara's place. 25 kilometers. But we don't converse. Pay obeisances, may chant Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudamate. Why Mudamate? Mudamate means people are in ignorance. The mode of ignorance is covering even great scholars. So, it is an unfortunate state due to the influence of Kali. And Prabhupada guarantees that if we become sincere on this path which is perfect, we may be imperfect, but we have every chance to become perfect. It is a special path for devotional service that Krishna favors. Otherwise, Mama Vartamanu Vartante Manusha Partha Sarvasa. For everybody, through the help of this agents of Kali, the three modes of material nature, Mahatattva, everyone is forced to adhere to something. And Krishna chalked out path for them. They will get the results they desire. But these are all hallucinating, just to keep them under the bondage of three modes of material nature. We have to come out. That's the premise. In our attempts, we are given the transcendental process, but yet we have to respect very systematically, according to Rupa Goswami, Ādau Shraddha Tato Sadhu Sangatha Bhajana Kriyatha Anartha Nivritti Syad Tatha Ruchi Asakti Bhava and Prema Nishtha Ruchi Asakti Bhava. Because we will be able to see the result according to the stage-wise progression. All right? Stage-wise progression. So pratyaksha avagamam dharmyam susukham kartum avyayam. This confidential process of bhakti, where it is Krishna's lifeline. He said, devotees are my life and soul. Nobody else. So therefore, if my devotee is in trouble, I reach fast. I reach fast. Prana thakki mane Vaishnava vala. I mean, if Krishna is considering the devotee to be as good as his life and soul, I mean, he is the source of life and soul, but at the same time, the Supreme Personality hankers to be in association with his devotees. And that is the fundamental feature that differs from Lord Shri Krishna to Lord Vishnu. Lord Vishnu has Lakshmi, no third person can enter. Only servitorship, and that is on awe and reverence. It's a very monotonous type of liberation. Even though you desire opulence, you will get it. You want to take your wife with you? Okay. That is also allowed there. Sarsti, Samipya, Salokya, and Sarupya. All these four liberations are available, but you will be in Vaikuntha. But to have association of the Lord, Jaya and Vijay are there. And have you ever seen a darshan time for Lord Vishnu there? There is no slot. It's awe and reverence. Dur se pranam. That's about it. But you will be in the Vaikuntha planet. You get stuck there. You can't think the dynamic relationship Krishna can cultivate with each and every one of his disciples. And all relationship he reciprocates personally. It's mind-boggling. And he lives in a planet of cows. Goloka. You may say Krishna Loka, but it is said Goloka damna nidyatamni talecha tasya devi mahesha haritam asuteshu teshu. Te te prabhav vichanaya behitaschayena govindamadi purusham tamahambuja. There will be a lot of different kinds of influences in all the different planetary systems. But if you go back home, back to Godhead, Krishna Loka or Goloka Vrindavan, just be a cowherd boy. Gopakumara travels that way. Right? In Brihad Bhagavatam, why Gopakumara and nobody else? Everybody can become Gopakumara if the householders pick up the profession of protecting cows and brahmanas. Krishna showed that economy. And today we live in the slaughter of cows economy. Anyway, we can understand the mercy of Srila Prabhupada in this fallen age of Kali throughout the world. So, anybody has any question or comments? Yes, Prabhu?
Thank you for the class.
Do you need a mic? Do we have a mic?
Thank you for the class. I was actually just wondering, how did the 9 types of devotional service mixed with the 3 modes of material nature become into 81 categories? Can you please elaborate on that?
9 kinds of devotional service with the 3 modes makes 27. Alright? But the 3 modes can be in different permutation and combination. There are 3 modes of material nature, and there are 3 3 kinds of activities are there, but 9 different types of devotional service. Prabhupada says here, then there are different devotional service such as Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedam, the 9. And each can be divided into 3 qualitative categories. So, 27, okay? There is hearing in the mode of passion, in the mode of ignorance, and in mode of goodness. Similarly, there is chanting in the mode of ignorance, passion, and goodness. 3 multiplied by 9 modes of ignorance. 3 into 3. Chanting is also there. And performing devotional service like puja, archana. So, 9 into, what is that? 3 multiplied by 9 equals 27, and when again multiplied by 3, it becomes 81. 3 modes of material nature are going to interfere at every stage of transformations. You chant in mode of ignorance, okay? Then not only chanting will be affected, but when you perform 9 processes, again they are going to be affected. 9 into 3 is 27, but again, second step, 3 modes are interfering. So 27 into 3 again becomes 81. It's a permutation and combination. Probably in detail, if you want to see, go to the store of the paints hardware. They have a little mixing of the color, and how many varieties they can make. But here it is said, the permutation and combination gives rise to 81 varieties. That's all. Loud.
How does the mind always trouble us?
How do?
How does the mind always trouble us?
Mind always troublemaker. Mind is helped by 5 senses. And we do not know where to use our senses. So we confuse the mind. If you want to see, only see the deity forms. Never see anything else. Never be attracted by even advertisements, alluring. All right? How did Ambarish Maharaj used his eyes? How did he use his hands? How did he use his mind also? Yes. Every organ is given to us with consciousness to know who we are and what we are supposed to do with the Supreme Lord, who has given us this opportunity with the 5 senses to know. This is real thing. Other things, why do we have to waste time? What do they teach you in the school? Other than Krishna and you, right? Other than Krishna, they don't teach you Krishna. Who is Krishna and who are you? What is your relationship? They will never teach you that. They will teach you something that might help you to feed your stomach. And that is also very difficult to get these days when there is joblessness and it is increasing. Don't trust them. Trust the devotees. You get prasadam. No problem.
I also had one more question.
What?
What should we do when our mind is distracted and how do we stop?
Beat him up. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Maharaj told, take a broom in the morning and start beating without question. Alright? Beat the mind with the broom. And in the night you go to sleep, beat the mind with the shoes.
And then how do we focus our mind on this?
Chant Hare Krishna. Focus in the sound vibration. You can focus on the Lord's form, the beauty. There are positive things to do in this world of nonsense. Good boy. Anything else? Yes, brother?
Thank you, Maharaj, for a wonderful class. So you were mentioning about devotional service, that we should come out of lethargy, try to come out with 3 modes of natural nature. And you were also saying that Prabhupada was not a moody, we are actually a moody person, and Prabhupada was not a moody person. He was out of lethargy, out of 3 modes of natural nature. So how can we come out of lethargy and of our comfort zone? And sometimes we try to come out.
Prabhupada was not a moody person just like us. He has mood and mission. And we have to focus on his mood and mission. That is very easy to get inspired from. Alright? And if our senior devotees, we expect them to do in that direction, so we can associate with them and get more inspiration to follow them, help them, or work together.
How can we maintain that consistency?
Increase the association and use your brain. You can't become sentimental in front of them. Otherwise, they will think, how can be remaining senior if we also become sentimental? Everyone is inquisitive about how to increase the devotional service, not to decrease. Do we have a company who encourages us to decrease the devotional service? No. It is forbidden, it is taboo. We never had that kind of agenda. If somebody tries to do, he will not be in ISKCON. He will be out of ISKCON. Yes?
Maharaj said that everybody can become Gopakumari householders because of the profession of cow protection. So, Maharaj, for someone who is in a different profession right now, what they can do to follow the same instruction?
At least stop using the cow products that are made from the slaughter. Don't contribute. Abstain. Do they have ahimsa milk here? Comes from Melbourne all the way.
They come to Sydney, Canberra, Brisbane. 3 trips. 3 stating course.
Okay.
And it's costly also.
Oh, you get this thick cream?
2-liter bottle is $10.
Yeah, we got a cream.
Good. You can save yourself from diabetes. Yes.
As you mentioned, Kali tries to interfere even in devotional service. So how do it influence and
Those who are experienced, God brothers and senior devotees staying, they are our source of inspiration to do what they have done, contributed in the movement. They get automatic respect. They never tried to obtain respect otherwise. How advanced in thinking, feeling and willing they are in performing spontaneous devotional service. Go wherever it is required. They are not confined, so they can be categorized in the sannyasi form also. All right? So, approach them. Have good association. Everything is available. Prabhupada put up a perfect process. Why to doubt? If we do not follow perfectly, then we can introduce so many unwanted things. It's also effect of Kali to interfere in ISKCON, and we have to pay heavy prices. But still, we may not be perfect yet, but our only hope to remain perfect if we are in constant association with, staying on the path that has been already chalked out. Prabhupada used these words. Path is chalked out. Don't deviate. So cultivate faith on it and verify it. Don't take it blindly. How do you verify your faith? Verifiability. There is no process in the whole world which starts from Shraddha to Nishtha. Nishtha is the stage of verification. All right? And if you have Nishtha, Yasya deve para bhakti tatha deva, yatha deva tatha guru. That is Nishtha. Para bhakti. It's a Nishtha bhakti. Naisthiki bhakti. So, your success is guaranteed. So always take these principles. They are not lofty words just to describe something which is very difficult to follow. It's not difficult to follow. It is difficult to follow for those who are complicated in their mind. Those who are simple. Why did Srila Prabhupada was helped by Westerners? And why not Indians? Prabhupada explains, Indians have too many things written on their slate, so it is difficult to clean. But you do not have any such thing written, so it can be read very clear. You can accept with firm faith faster than Indians. Yes.